Hey guys, it's me, the Stardust Dash, and I'll be reacting to the um, what's the word, like, opportunity of Starlight Glimmer by PSI, underscore May, or me. So yeah, let's go.
I know this might be a departure from what you're expecting from my content already, but I figured it's better to rip off the band-aid now. Yes, I admit it, I am a brony.
Listen to me.
Yes.
Listen to me.
Yes.
Shut that goddamn thing off.
I've been around My Little Pony Friendship is Magic for a while now, first watching this series when I was 10 years old, and I instantly got hooked.
I started watching it when I was, what, like 22? Uh, Back when I dropped out of university in 2020-ish. So yeah, that's when I started watching My Little Pony. When I dropped out of university at the age of 22 in 2022.
It was the perfect series for an anxious autistic child with absolutely no social skills. When starting the show, episodes of season 4 were still new, and it was starting to reach its climax. So I joined around the time the general consensus amongst fans was that the show began to, quote unquote, fall off. To help me get a general understanding of the opinions of bronies at the time, I have a special guest, Josh Scorcher, the Talking Plush, featuring real quotes from this horse-famous brony analyst. What do you have to say, Josh?
BLM itself is dominated by crusaders, fascists, opportunists, cowards, and hypocrites.
No, Josh, I'm talking about the show.
It's the Autism Speaks of racial equality.
Okay, time to put you away. Alright, so I don't have any direct connections with any of the old school members of the fandom. I probably just burned a few bridges actually, but you could find similar sentiments still echoed today. No, not the racist stuff, but that the series became too self-deprecating and pandering to its community. Instead of doubling down on what made the series so enjoyable to begin with, it started to suffer from seasonal rot, and should have ended many seasons earlier. There are some more extreme sides of the fandom that even believe the series began to fall off in quality after season 2 when the series creator, Lauren Faust, left production. But for me, I never fully agreed with these sentiments. There are bad or even poorly aged episodes that seem more reactionary than genuine, but those always seem few and far between. Most of the time, there are episodes not too dissimilar from the
I mean, like, I think the worst part about My Little Pony, in my opinion anyway, is the fact that they basically, what's the word, tricked, is the fact that Hasbro tricked everyone into thinking that they were gonna bring back Grogar, when in reality, like, they were going to, they just fucked it up by basically saying, oh, it was Discord in disguise. The real what's it called, like, the real Grogar, he wasn't even around. So yeah, suck it, or whatever. I don't know.
golden age of the series. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic has always been a mixed bag, even in its heyday, but that doesn't mean the postmodern era of Friendship is Magic didn't have its strings of rough patches. The biggest struggle in Friendship is Magic that prevailed come the latter half of its run is the conflict of interest between the creative team making the series and the corporation keeping it on the air. We can see that come season 6 onward that they struggled to keep every member of the main cast relevant aside from Twilight, as most of the other protagonists sort of reached their peaks, or met their goals by that point, basically becoming dead weight. The older characters still have their good and even great episodes, but it takes a long way to get there. These are simply the most merchandised characters that I'm sure not Hasbro.
I actually got a Funko Pop figure. Well, actually two I got. The first one I got is Fluttershy, which I got from the Shaoki Ponies work experience place. So yeah, the second is a minty. I forget what it's called, but it's like it's a G3 pony basically. So yeah.
Nor Discovery want to get rid of, so they try anything and everything to give them a purpose. Ideas such as having them meet the pillars of Equestria or have them leave their current jobs to become teachers are all concepts that either feel half-baked or a necessity to tie into a toy Hasbro wants to push. When looking at the series in retrospect, It seems to be a mess consisting of good or mediocre episodes, but didn't know what it was leading to. There was an identity crisis looming over the latter half of the series, one that could have been circumvented if they let go of the main six and focus on a new set of characters hidden in plain sight, a cast I refer to as the Glimmer Gang. Starlight Glimmer was introduced as a reoccurring antagonist in Season 5, a powerful unicorn that seemed to almost be an antithesis to Twilight. Whilst as a kid, Twilight experienced a magical accident that would cause her destiny to be linked with her best friends, for Starlight, a magical accident resulted in her social isolation. This led to a slippery slope of her going completely insane, and led her to brainwash an entire town, stripping them of their individuality in a desperate ploy to no longer be alone. When Twilight and her friends foiled her plans, she would return later in the series to go back in time and undo their magical bond, which leads to multiple instances of horrific dystopian futures. When she is confronted with the reality of her actions, she breaks down, realizing how far gone she had become, to which Twilight takes her under her wing, no pun intended, to make Starlight her first pupil. Roughly half of Season 6 was dedicated to Starlight's growth, recovering from her mistakes, making new friends, and overcoming her anxieties. What resulted was a surprisingly mature season that elevated the nuance of the lessons taught in the series, and thus came a gaggle of a completely new cast of characters, the aforementioned Starlight, as well as Sunburst, Trixie, and Maud, that all had very unique personalities that are surprisingly more down to earth and flawed than our original main six. It seems like the series was ready to move on and prevent what we recognized before to slowly rot away like The Simpsons did. I think it would have
Okay. A Mod Pie is still best pony in my opinion. Just saying.
been great if the Glimmer Gang became the center focus of the series between Season 6 and 8, whilst we still check up on our legacy characters every once in a while, but that is unfortunately not the timeline we live in. Season 7 would try to keep the main six in center focus, introducing 6 new characters that rarely make appearances afterwards, despite how big of a deal the Pillars of Equestria were supposed to be. Then Season 8 fully jumped the shark and forced the main six to become teachers in this new school setting, to which they'd introduce yet another 6 new characters. The Young Six. Please do not take a shot for how many times I say the number 6 because I'm sure you'll be comatose by now. I am not a fan of the Young Six. Since they still need to share screen time with the main cast, we never get to see them ever play off each other besides from blanket archetypes. They would have sparingly good moments, but nothing at all memorable. Please tell me in the comments what makes Yuna's personality different from any other yak in the series. Please, I beg you. What makes it worse is that as soon as we meet them, they are now expected to be the successors of the elements of harmony. What elements are they even supposed to represent? Why should we care other than the fact that there's 6 of them? Starlight went from being a fleshed out main character to someone who basically acts as a substitute Twilight. Sometimes literally, with any new developments between her and the group of friends she gained being minimal to non-existent. The ultimate endgame for Starlight and her friends was to take control of the School of Friendship, when she expressed no interest and dramatically failed when she was given the responsibility of headmare. What has changed? Why should this be a satisfying conclusion other than the vague implication that Twilight trusts her? Maybe this would have been more satisfying if they doubled down on the Glimmer Gang and allowed the characters to discover themselves instead of—
I mean, to be honest, he has a point, but at the same time, though, I don't know, okay? Like, it's Hasbro. I feel like they're better with Transformers instead of My Little Pony at this point. Or something like that. I don't know.
being tagged along with the main six by necessity of giving everyone a happy ending. If they wanted to use species diversity to enhance the theme of equality, then they could have done that too. There are so many fantastical non-pony characters that could have been expanded and added to the Glimmer Gang, but instead they quit before they were ahead. Now all the Glimmer Gang is remembered for is being the symptom of the late series identity crisis, and not the cure. Am I being salty? Yes. Is this video made to cope with the fact that I could have had more Trixie but I couldn't? Yes. But I had to ask myself on what I would have preferred: a new cast that gets considerable development, or a bunch of smaller characters that mainly serve to give the older characters something to do long past their expiration date. I don't know. With a fan base as rapid as this one, I know it.
Okay then. That is too weird. Ugh.
Opinions would be mixed, but I'm glad people are returning to the modern seasons and overwhelmingly seeing the value of the Glimmer Gang for the short time we had them, and maybe one day we'll get to see their story continued. Until next time, thanks for watching.
Of course, that's That's just one idea. We could also go to Griffinstone. Making friends with a griffin is a challenge all by itself. Or we could tag along with the CNCs the next time they try to help a boy who can't figure out why they're special. Starlight? Is something wrong?
What? Oh, no.
Well, anyways, that was my reaction to the missed the missed opportunity. No, wait, oh my god, I'm a mistake. I meant to say the missed potential of Starlight Glimmer. Yeah, yeah, that was my reaction to the missed potential of Starlight Glimmer, and yeah, and that's it really. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.